So hey everybody, today's adventure I'm taking you downtown to catch the Creole Queen, and it's a paddle boat that'll take us down the river, and we'll go on a tour of the Chalmette Battlegrounds and have lunch. So anxious to show you, and thought let's go. Right now I'm going down Street, which is another main street that goes down into the business district of New Orleans. And it's the same street that we have the Superdome, and this goes all the way to the end, the Hilton Hotel and parking. Again, this is Poydras Street. Alright, here we are again. You watched my last video of the view where I took you to the top. This week we're going to go on the Creole Queen, which is right over here. It's by the outlet center and the Hilton. So we're all excited about going on this. My ticket already. I booked this online, so I'll be sure to leave the link below, or you can get your tickets here, but I still have to show my everything. So anyway, that's what we're going on, the Creole Queen. Pretty exciting. I have my ticket. I did do this online. So boarding starts at 1:30 and it'll take off at 2. So I have a little time before I go because it's like about 10 minutes before they start boarding. Last week I was standing right here and we were taking tours of the view. We have the aquarium over there. This is the Spanish Plaza, just outside the Riverwalk, and the cruise terminals. The cruise ships are all out right now today. This is Friday, May the 6th. There's another paddle boat going out. This is the City of New Orleans paddle boat. Isn't that fun? So we have Jazz Fest going on right now, so the city is busy. And Mother's Day coming up to Sunday. So, all right. The Creole Queen is New Orleans' only historic river cruise, focusing on 300 years of New Orleans history. This cruise, offered twice daily, is narrated by a local historian who takes guests on a journey through the story of the city as we sail downriver to the Lafitte National Historical Park. The highlights of the tour include the founding of the city, the expansion of the city into the French quarters, and the critical Battle of New Orleans. A 1-hour shore excursion at the battlefield features a guided tour and talk by the National Park Rangers. This is St. Louis Cathedral in Jackson Square. The 880-passenger paddle-wheeler Creole Queen is New Orleans' most luxurious daily excursions riverboat on the Mississippi River. The Creole Queen is a traditional riverboat powered by a 24-foot diameter paddle wheel. She has 3 private dining rooms, giving her the largest indoor capacity available on excursion vessels in New Orleans. Enjoy a dinner jazz cruise, a historical cruise, or even one of our special event cruises. Chalmette Domino Sugar Refinery is the largest cane sugar refinery in the Western Hemisphere, producing more than 7 million pounds a day. It's also one of our bigger employers with over 400. Alright, so the riverboat has come to the Chalmette Battlefield, where we have the historic Battle of New Orleans. This song's for you, Jamie. Major General Andrew Jackson's stunning victory over experienced British troops in the Battle of New Orleans on January 8th in 1815 was the greatest American land victory of the War of 1812. The War of 1812 was fought to secure U.S. maritime rights, reduce British influence over American Indians on the western frontier, and pave the way for the U.S. annexation of Canada. Neither side had much success in the early days of the war. When Napoleon was defeated in the spring of 1814, the War of 1812 changed dramatically. Thousands of battle-tested British troops sailed for the United States for a 3-pronged attack that included a full-scale invasion from Montreal, skirmishes and raids on Washington, D.C., and Baltimore. Defending New Orleans were about 5,000 regular U.S. troops, state militiamen, and volunteer soldiers, including Jean Lafitte's Barratarian pirates. On December 23rd, when British troops landed 9 miles downriver from New Orleans, Jackson halted their advance in a fierce night attack. The Americans then withdrew behind the banks of the Rodriguez Canal. As the British assault against the American rampart near the swamp began to falter, the 93rd Highlanders were ordered to march diagonally across the battlefield from their position near the Mississippi River. The regiment was exposed to raking fire and suffered heavy casualties. Parkington rode forward to rally his men and was mortally wounded. Many other high-ranking officers were also killed or wounded. The Battle of New Orleans lasted less than 2 hours, with the major fighting confined to about 30 minutes. More than 2,000 British troops were dead, wounded, or taken prisoner. American casualties numbered fewer than 20. Within days, the British withdrew, ending the Louisiana campaign.
Forward march. Recover, firelock. Open pan. Handle cartridge. Because these guns were around before you actually have bullets, the metal bullets that we picked up today, you have to load it using a paper tube full of gunpowder and a musket ball. You gotta be able to tear open that. Prime! Shut pan and cast about. Charge with cartridge. Now, these are what are called muzzle loaders. That means everything gets loaded in through the front of the gun and you gotta push it back where it shoots from. That's what they're about to do in this step. Draw rammer. Return rammer. That's probably why. Poise, firelock. This step here, by the way, this is just to intimidate your enemy. You get an army of soldiers standing still like statues, showing off their guns and their guns. It's a little intimidating. That's the same reason the British are wearing those bright red uniforms, because that's intimidating. There's a lot of psychological warfare going on. Cock, firelock. Take aim. Fire! Prime and load.
Well, I picked a very hot day to come for here, but it was interesting. I got some pamphlets, so I'll be able to share those in the story. So I'm heading back to the boat. We have about an hour here at the battlefield, and we had the park ranger give us a little history. Got to see some muskets, and then I went into the visitor center just to look around a little bit. It's interesting there too. It has a lot of artifacts and some history, but this is a place to come to, whether you go on the Paddlewheeler or you drive to Chalmette. There is a graveyard here, but we don't have time to do that. But I'll bring that to you on another video. I can drive here. It's only about a 30-minute drive from my house. And I'll stay tuned for some series on the Walking Among the Dead. So I'll take you some of the graveyards here in New Orleans. So I'm looking forward to that. So the Paddlewheeler is a wheeling. The amazing Mississippi River is the second longest river on the North American continent. From its traditional source of Lake Itasca in Minnesota, it flows generally south 2,340 miles to the Gulf of Mexico. Steamboats were widely used in the 19th and early 20th centuries to ship goods. The deepest part of the river is here in New Orleans, at a depth of 200 feet. Hey everybody, I really hope you enjoyed that. It was a very interesting trip down the Mississippi to see the Chalmette Battlegrounds and then to take the trip back up to Dock and New Orleans. Don't forget to like by hitting the little thumbs up and to subscribe, which there's a little subscribe button at the corner or at the very end of the video. You can also subscribe. And be sure to look out for next week. I will be bringing you a new playlist series of places to eat in New Orleans. And I have lots of adventures planned for you, and I hope you continue to watch. And again, thank you, because Joe knows adventure. New Orleans, in, around, and beyond. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.